So, how is everyone? I hope you're all well. So today, we're going to have a look at the red flags in the Kiely Rodni case. Now, I will just say that some people are obviously not getting the notifications to my videos. I upload 2 videos every day. Most of the 99% of the time, and I've just had a few people who have sent me emails that are kind of giving me information that we've already done videos on. So if you're not getting notifications, just make sure that you check the channel, because it's likely that YouTube are not doing their job. I'm going to have to stop paying them. I don't pay them. Never mind, we can still moan about it. Anyway, 13,000 subs as we do this video, and I want to do a giveaway. Now, it's going to be more gauged towards the females, because at the end of the day there's more females on the channel. So look, stick around and you will find out how you can win yourself a pair of these off-white earrings. They're not going to be for everybody because they're a paperclip style. But they're designer, they're from Italy, they're handmade in Italy, they retail for around £200, bloody rip-off. But, like I say, towards the end of the video I'm going to let you know how you can be in with a chance of winning them. That's just to celebrate the 10,000 subscribers. We've just jumped forward a little bit quick. And but anyway, let's crack on before anybody starts moaning that this introduction has gone on too long, which it has. Red flags, that's what we're here for. Red flags. There's a lot of red flags in the Kiely Rodni case. And look, everybody here, you obviously know who Kiely Rodni is. She is the 16, now 17-year-old girl who sadly lost her life following the attendance to a party that there is no single picture of that we can prove actually comes from there. Somewhere between 100 and 400 people, no real witnesses apart from people who are in Kiely's supposed friendship circle. And, you know, what's sort of gone on since then has just been an abundance of things that make you say, what the actual fuck is going on? And look, what is these things? I'm English and I can't even speak English. I digress. So, look, first of all, we've got to look at the fact that she attended a party at the age of 16. She was 16 years old. Just for those who think she was 15, she was 16. Trust me, she was 16. There is a picture of the memorial. It was in a video that I did yesterday. If you go and check that picture, there's a little black, I don't know whether it's a rock or a balloon of some description. It's got a date of birth on that. And actually, a date of birth was originally on the FBI's own website when she actually went missing, and it stated that her date of birth was in 2005. It was only when some other news outlets, some more, you know, kind of not so known ones, started throwing 2006 into the mix that it got a little bit cloudy. But she was 16 when she attended the party. But that makes her a minor. She shouldn't have been drinking, certainly. Shouldn't have been drinking alcohol. But she was there with older people who were supposedly her friends. And they just weren't looking after her. It just appears that they just didn't really care. You know, we've heard the likes of Sammy, and Sammy has just done nothing but come across as disingenuous. She kind of put herself at the forefront, like the tip of the spear, so to speak, with regards to making it look like they were searching. But the biggest red flag of all is when someone who was apparently with Kiely at this party and was sharing drinks with her and so on and so forth, she makes herself the tip of the spear, but then she points the spear in the complete opposite direction of where it should have been. You know, my thought process here is if Sammy was with Kiely, now Sammy should have known that Kiely was indeed drunk. If she was indeed drunk, you've got to think about this. She was there, she was with her, she was sharing drinks. Kiely had been noted to have been so drunk she could hardly walk, hardly talk. So then why let her drive? And then you've got to think to yourself, all right, if you've let her drive, then you've got to think to yourself, well, hold on. We're surrounded by water. The common sense thing is that she could have possibly driven into that water. So you would be pushing that narrative. Have we searched? You'd have been there. You'd have made sure there was divers in the water. You'd have chased that up, because at the moment, another red flag is what seems to be that the Prosser County Police Department didn't even put divers in the water. Why was that? Why would they not put divers in? I spoke yesterday, didn't I? The only thing that anyone really would have needed was eyes. You saw Check It TV yesterday. He'd gone out to that reservoir and found articles of Kiely's personal belongings that looked like they were the ones from the car, and you could see them through the water. So you could see a laptop, but you couldn't apparently see a nearly 4-ton block of metal. Not buying it. So you've got Sammy Smith, the tip of the spear, puts herself in charge of the search efforts, but then steers the search efforts very firmly in the direction of abduction. And what does abduction do? We've seen it in other cases like Don Wells with Summer Wells. You know, it makes everybody start focusing away from ground zero. And that to me is a big red flag. You know, ultimately, this girl should have known what position Kiely was in towards the end of that party and what risk was posed to her in the event that, you know, she was driving. Her car was gone. Unless Sammy knew full well that Kiely was with a boy potentially. But she never stated that. She never said she'd hooked up with a boy and there was a potential for a boy to start. She hasn't said it. She just said that she spent some time with her there, which, like I say, sharing drinks, going to a car, getting drinks from the car, you know, putting that noose around her neck. And there we have it. And then telling everyone she was abducted, taken away, when we know that she was actually in the water just a few yards away from the party. So that's a red flag. Another red flag is the fact that we've got the way that the police themselves have handled it. Now, we don't want to scream corruption, but like we've just touched on, the fact that nobody seems to be interested. Nobody, it's 400 people at this party up to, and not one of them really seems to care. But yet the mum, she seems to think that Kiely had this way of forming a deep connection with people fairly quickly, you know, over her interests in cooking and music. This was able to give her the ability to form these friendships. And that's why out in the community, she feels that there's such heartfelt praise. I don't know what planet she's living on. I really don't. Because the father seems to be the one who's got it nailed down. You know, he has got fire in his eyes when he talks about the people around. And so he fucking should. You know, for a start off, she shouldn't have been at this party. But if they're going to think, do you know what? We're going to let her go because she's with friends who are older than her, then they will look after her. They had been, I guess, entrusted to be the guardians of their daughter for the night. Mum don't seem bothered, still seems to think that these kids are fantastic, and father, I think if he could, he'd probably string them all up. You've also got the biggest red flag of all, which is this tow truck situation, where Nick has said that on 11 a.m. on the following day, he attended a vehicle that he strongly believes was Kiely's vehicle. Now, don't get me wrong, it could just not be her vehicle. We've touched on it, it may not be. But then you've got to think to yourself, the conversations that were being had and what Nick has said was being said regarding how to use a seatbelt, attach it to belt buckles and all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And then when you think what we've seen since then, you know, another sub-mini red flag is the fact that it appears that there was a belt trapped in the back tailgate of that vehicle. Now, much has been speculated around, was that belt used to strap Kiely into the back of the car? And we don't know. We may not know for a while what the deal was there, but it's certainly, when you imagine that that belt comes from the ceiling, that would have had to have been pulled down, out through the door and shut in the door to pin it down. So, but there is anchoring points in that vehicle. You know, maybe, I don't know. That's yet to be confirmed again, but a red flag. When you pair it against Nick's conversation and what he's saying they were asking regarding the belts, and the way that these two individuals seemingly were guarding that vehicle as well, as if they were trying to not let Nick see inside the vehicle. You know, there's a lot around that. That whole situation is a red flag to me, because it could just be that Nick himself, and look, I have to say it because it's a possibility. You know, it's a possibility that Nick himself, he has different intentions, but apparently that's all filmed, so then that would lead you to believe that that's not the case. You know, he did go out to a call, he did see someone, it was all on camera, it was all caught, audio as well, audible, visual proof, but then I've got another question and another red flag. Why have we not seen anything off the back end of that? Even when you think that they know that that information is out there and it's rife on social media, even if it was someone else and it's not connected to it, why wouldn't there be a press conference just to settle the waters? Well, you could say that that's not likely to happen when their complete lack of interest, you know, wouldn't even go out and collect these things. I think it took them around 5 hours before they actually went and collect the items that they'd left in the water. So yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they just don't care, and they've made the decision. They're gonna run with the fact that it's an accident, and we're gonna hear from that on the 1st of November. It was an accident. There you go. Job done, book closed. That's gonna cheer some people up. Another red flag. Look, the way that Jagger. There's mixed opinions. At the end of the day, what we have to remember is Jagger. At the end of the day, he's a young kid. So we do have to be careful what we say. But Jagger has stated some things himself which have been concerning. And I'm going to touch on that as a separate entity on its own in a video later today. So if you want to hear more about Jagger, if you don't want to hear about Jagger, and again, I've done it separately because some people are just not interested. I have to talk about it, but I'm not going to put it in here and go on about it because I know some people don't want to listen to it. Now, the final thing that we're going to speak about is this accident situation. People think, there are still people out there who think that this is an accident. Now, in the description of this video, there is a link to a video that is dug from AWP. Absolute boss hero. Him and Nick, Jesus, what can we say? Absolute heroes. But he talks about the fact that he feels that that's suspicious. Now, he does talk about, and I'm not going to tell you everything that's in that because it's only a short video. It's under 3 minutes. So go head over there, check it out. Tell him I sent you. Say aye, thumbs up, all that. But look, what the biggest thing from that is he talks about the route. And what a lot of you watchers probably don't understand. And what he's saying is, the pathway into where Kiely was, you know, that route in and out, the exit entrance, is a very nice, smooth, paved road. You know, it's nice. So the drive on there is going to be somewhat nice. The road down to where Kiely's vehicle was found, down to the water's end, is everything but that. You know, it's not a nice drive. It's a horrendous, bumpy, there's potholes. It's not something that you're going to be going down there at a speed in. He turned around and said that the likelihood is you need a 4x4 to get down there. A normal car likely wouldn't really even be able to drive down there. That's how bad it is. So you can kind of get a picture of the terrain. And what I'm getting at is, for Kiely to end up in the water, she would have known she was heading towards the water. She would have. If she was that drunk that she didn't realise that she wasn't on that smooth path, and she was in fact on a road that was, you know, then she probably wouldn't have made it that far. She'd have probably bottomed the vehicle out or ended up in a bush or in a tree. But to make it from where she was all the way through this terrain and then make it across towards the water and then into the water, that is some mistake to make. Now, I'm not saying that it's completely impossible, but at some point on that journey, Kiely, even drunk, she must have thought to herself, this ain't right. I'm not going the right way. And she was familiar with the area. She would have known where the wrong way was leading, because it was either out and home or it was into the water. That's your options. Would somebody who is able to drive, operate their vehicle, and navigate that terrain for that length of, that duration to get down to the water's edge, would they have that poor a judgment that they can't work out where they're heading? That in itself is a huge, huge red flag to me. I just can't. Yes, you can, you can't rule out accident. I get it. But there's too many things here that would be warning signs even to the person who's driving. And when they, like I say, when they're familiar with this area, I cannot see it. I just can't see someone driving in those conditions, knowing they're going the wrong way, completely oblivious to what's happening, and then drive into a reservoir. And that's the same thing what Doug says. Doug says exactly the same. However you look at it, what we're trying to say is a girl got in a car, she drove a certain distance over harsh terrain that her car was hardly capable of doing, more than what a normal car, but the Honda CR-V isn't a proper 4x4. It's not an off-road vehicle. And she's driven it, like I say, for some direction, and she's gone into a reservoir. Can you not see what's wrong with that? But they are some of the red flags. What I'd like you to do is, since the start of this, you've obviously seen things. I've not mentioned everything in here because I don't want the video to be an hour long. We can do a live and talk about the red flags. If you guys want to comment down below what your biggest red flags are with regards to the people around her, with regards to the parents, with regards to the way that Placer has handled it, the way that, just everything. There's so many elements of this case that raises red flags. I want to hear what yours are. But before we go, how do you get your hands on these? Shortly after this video uploads, I'm going to put a post into the community feed. It's going to be relevant to the subscribers, the 13,000 subscriber milestone. All I want you to do is comment down below, and in your comment I want you to put the words off-white. Off-white. So you can just put it randomly, or you can make it fit into what you're saying. I don't like white t-shirts. I like them to be slightly off-white. And then what I'm going to do, in a week's time, I'm going to do a draw, and I'm going to select the winner randomly, and there we have it. There will be the winner. So I shall see you all in the community feed, and I'll catch you all in the next one.